Hey everyone, so welcome to the 20th anniversary playthrough of Resident Evil 2. I will be playing the GameCube version. I think it's the best version. It's it's nice and streamlined, it's smooth, graphics are nice and crisp. Of course the PS1 is a classic, however I find the loading times between doors and between conversations just ruin it. So without further ado, let's go.
Resident Evil 2.
Gonna be doing Leon A, Claire B. I mean that's meant to be the canon story.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had been caused by the T virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments. The Raccoon City Police Department's Special STARS unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. But the Umbrella Corporation's experiments were far from finished.
There we go, nice little bit of exposition. Because this game came out 2 years after the original one. You had the director's cut in between. And here's Leon S. Kennedy, first day on the job. Great start. It's quiet. Too quiet. His police detective instincts obviously weren't too good.
What have we got here?
Take one guess. God, I've never played this in surround sound before. That is nice.
That guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
He's hungry, dude. He's working the night shift.
Man, what a mess. What could have done this? What was that?
So it begins.
What are these things? All right, that's far enough. Don't move. Don't move. No! What's up with that guy? That was a clean hit.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down!
Boom, headshot.
We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer.
And that's where they meet. Those of you who've played Claire B will know that's exactly where Claire meets Leon.
There!
The scenario concept in this game is just brilliant. Just having the two of them entwine,
Okay.
meet each other occasionally, each scenario affects the other one. Brilliant storytelling.
on? I arrived in town, and the whole place went
Great.
insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, first day on the job. Great, huh? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother, Chris.
And if it had been Elsa Walker, as it was in the beta, well, it wouldn't be a Redfield, it would be a complete stranger. That's why they made it Claire, obviously, give it a family connection.
Could you open the glove box?
Sure. There's a gun inside.
Better take it with you.
Check it out, he's got the same hair as Leon. Must use the same character model. There we go, it spins round. Leon gets out on the left,
You okay?
Still in one piece.
Claire gets out on the right.
Maniac's gonna ram us!
And in Leon B, he just crashes head on, so he gets out the other side.
Claire!
Leon!
I'm okay. Head to the station. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Let the fun begin. This isn't going to be a speed run or you know, a world record attempt or something. All this is going to be is just a playthrough to celebrate this brilliant game. So let's get away from the tanker pronto. So I was going to say the zombies are really easy to dodge, but I think I got a bit too cocky there. I got ahead of myself. No point in killing them here. They're positioned slightly differently in the demo that came out with the director's cut. Of course, that was work in progress. But you may not know, the game was actually 70% finished when they scrapped it and started anew. That was a ballsy move.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
See how nice and quick that conversation is?
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
In the PlayStation, the disc is always whirring.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
I guess not the most observant bloke in the world. Maybe it's like Shaun of the Dead. You know, every day he goes to work and people just wandering about aimlessly, arms hanging lifelessly at their sides, moaning incoherently. And he just thinks, oh well, that's Raccoon City for you. Takes him weeks and weeks to realise there's actually a zombie apocalypse. Ah, see you, buddy. In the demo, he actually holds his hand up and sort of waves them away instead of grabbing, well, firing at them. So they changed that animation, which is pretty cool. Glad I managed to grab the shotgun there without any damage. It's tricky, but as long as you back away, the zombies don't actually shamble really, really quickly like they do in later games, so that's pretty good. As I said, this isn't going to be a speed run. All this is going to be is just play through to enjoy the game. There we go. And let's go. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything you want to share as well, go for it. Stick it in the comments. I can't see them from where I am. This van here wasn't here in the demo, actually. It was just a big dumpster that you climb over. That takes you out to where you leave the bus later on. So that's actually where the demo sort of cuts out a lot of the finished game. If you play the demo these days, it actually hasn't aged too badly, given how many versions of it there actually were. I can never get past these guys without shooting them. Gotta drop them all. It's just too tricky, although... I'm stuck! Get out of the way! Ah, damn it. You know what, you can play this game for 20 years, you could play it for 20 more, and you will still get grabbed at certain points. I think that's just inevitable. I'm kind of hoping this is going to be in the remake. You know, I know there's rumours floating around talking about, oh, it's going to be over-the-shoulder camera, it's going to be action-orientated like Resi 4, and I'm just thinking, yeah, but you know, there's too many action games out there now where literally all you do is shoot. I want a bit of strategy. I want a bit of dodging, a bit of agility. That's the point of survival horror. You know, you're meant to survive. You're not meant to just pick up ammo that the crows drop after you shoot them. If I stay close to the wall, usually you're alright, although this guy will always spin round and try and grab, and he missed. So my zombie dodging skills aren't too rusty, not as rusty as that gate anyway. Mr. Bean's Mini, wonder what he was doing in Raccoon City. Hope that's not him they're munching on, that would be hilarious. A Mr. Bean zombie. Now there's a horror game on its own. The title of this eerie track on the bus is actually "We Drove the Passengers to Be the Living Dead." I'm not sure if that is just a mistranslation from the Japanese or something, but I always thought it was a pretty creepy title. There's always no point at all in trying to kill all these zombies. As long as you get past them, you're not coming back here again. Straight out and straight off again. Try and not get bitten. As long as you stick to the old S shape, you're usually pretty good there. It's not too bad. Now, an interesting little bit coming up that is a bit of info that I only recently discovered. A lot of you may know that if you don't pick up any items on your way here, down those stairs you'll meet Brad Vickers, the chopper pilot from the first game, holding a special key to give you extra costumes, extra weapons. But what we're going to do instead is run through the park, because, hey, I like the scenic route. Dodge these guys. Now check it out. Some of you may know that this is where Jill meets Nemesis for the first time in Resi 4. Resi 4, Resi 3, I know what I'm talking about. But over here, as you can see, nothing really to see, nothing really happens. However, if we go back into the park and we kill these two zombies, I mean, they're already dead, let's just kill them again. Oh, he's taking a few. There we go. No, he's still going, still ticking, there we go. Finally. If you kill these two zombies, and then you run back here, if you hit action, you can see a hidden gate view. Now this only happens after you kill the zombies in the park. There's no other criteria. As you can see, it's the gate that Jill goes through in Resi 3 Nemesis, which wasn't released for another year or so after this one. So they obviously clearly had the intention of showing you the gate at the police department, even back then. You can shoot the zombies through here, but it doesn't actually show you anything. So once you run away, and you run back again, the view's gone. So you literally get the view just that once. And to my knowledge, that's actually one of the more recent discoveries of Resi 2. Welcome to everyone who's watching now. This is my first stream. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying playing it. If you got any tips or comments or anything you want to share, stick them in the comments section and I'll have a look. Right, welcome to the RPD. It's really nice seeing it on the GameCube because of the slightly higher graphics resolution. Nice and smooth animation as well. As I said, I love the PS1 original, that's where I first played Resi 20 years ago. But unfortunately the disk load speed is terrible and conversations sound really disjointed. Speaking of which... Hello, Marvin.
Oh, man. Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy. Leon. Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled. What happened? About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving zombies in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything.
Yeah, no shit.
They risked their lives to reveal the truth, but no one believed them. Not long after that, all this started to happen. Hang in there. Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine, but I'm coming back for you. Just hold on.
And true to his word, we will be back later on. Those veteran players who've played it before will obviously know of Marvin's fate, but hey, for any newbies, we'll get there. If this is your first time watching Resi 2 or going through Resi 2, then please let me know in the comments. It would be amazing if there were people watching who hadn't actually played this before. I'll try and make it as interesting as possible, try and keep it as spoiler-free as possible. I must admit, I will also be saving. As I said, this isn't a speed run. All I'm doing is playing it, hopefully for you guys to enjoy and for myself to enjoy. I have played the game 1,000 times, and I'll happily play it 1,000 more times. Right, let's unlock the RPD, or at least as much of it as we can. Right, here we go. You may notice as well the grandeur of the RPD main hall. I mean, it's absolutely huge. Those of you who've seen the beta versions of Resi, what's known as Resi 1.5, will be able to see that the police station actually used to be much more of a modern design. And that original storyline, Umbrella had been disbanded, it was all over. And as I said, when the game was 70% finished, the producer, Shinji Mikami, didn't really like it. He said it's not really working. And they scrapped virtually everything and started again. I mean, that is a ballsy move in this day and age, but back then, you know, the whole thing was riding on this game. Oh, there's the liquor. You guys know what's coming. It's too dark to see anything, says Leon, staring at this sinewy, muscly, glistening torso outside the window. Yeah, his cop instincts really don't have much going for them. Let's go on through and face the music. Another little neat thing coming up. This is the only time you can see this camera angle. This is a one-off camera angle. Go forwards, go back. You won't see it anymore. While I'm here as well, I'd just like to point out that some of you may not know this secret. Here's another little secret you can only do with a shotgun. Watch carefully. Bam. Bullet holes. If you missed that again, here's one more. There we go. Talk about breaking the fourth wall, hey? Blowing the fourth wall open with a shotgun. The head's been twisted off. Let's see what he's got. Ammo's always good. Alright, here we go, guys. That famous scene. Enjoy. Oh boy, I hate this guy. But remember, the lickers can't see you, but they can hear you, and they can feel you. If I'm quick, I can edge around this guy. Ah, shit, run! As long as I'm faster than him, I can get to the door. We're all good. Oh, God. God, you know that screech when that's coming, your head has not got long on your shoulders. Something else I love about this, guys, is just the ambience. I mean, just to take in the chilling sound. I mean, the orchestral score on this is fantastic. If anyone's got this on vinyl, you are very, very lucky. That must be the best quality audio that you can get for this game. It's another great thing as well. I think the audio is uncompressed if you play it on the GameCube and anything other than the PS1. Claire will have to find the lighter herself. Fortunately, Leon gets it already at the start. You could do this in the demo as well, although of course it ended long before you could use the red jewels. Here we go, one red jewel down. There's also a file over here. I'm not going to bother reading it because, you know, it's boring. That actually mentions the liquor. It tells you where they coined the name. Something about its tongue can pierce a human torso. Nice. I love how these barricades have graffiti on them. You know, you're panicking, there's a zombie apocalypse, you're putting up all the barricades, and yeah, what the hell, just scribble some graffiti down, why not? Now, I could be an absolute lunatic and try and dodge all these guys, but I will be coming back here a fair bit later, so I'm going to have to clean the corridor out. You remember in later games like Resi 4 and that, every single enemy pretty much drops ammo, making the game incredibly easy. This guy is just not going down. The zombies are so unpredictable, you know, you think you know how many shots they're going to take, but then one of them will just come out of nowhere and he'll just... Don't know how many that guy took, but it was too many. I don't know about you guys, but I've heard rumours that the remake is going to be over-the-shoulder camera, like Resi 4. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm not happy about it personally. I mean, you know, I think not being able to see what's around the corner is more scary, far more scary. But then, of course, you know, what are zombie games these days? People play Call of Duty Zombies and say that's a good zombie game. I mean, you know, I like horror myself. I think, you know, scary's good. Holla, Alex. Thanks for joining us. This is my first stream. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you want to tell me what you think of Resi in the comments, go ahead. If you're as big a fan as me, I'm sure you got a lot to say about it. Ah, the relaxing save music. There was something brilliant about this music. It was calming, and yet it was still slightly unnerving. You know, you knew that everything wasn't quite okay. It's one of the many, many great things about the production value in this game. So let's head up to the STARS office. See what happened to the rest of the team. Well, the rest of the STARS team. Leon isn't STARS, as you know, it's his first day on the job. The rookie. Because let's face it, if he was a hardened veteran it would have been boring. Like Chris Redfield in Resi 6, who suddenly has this whole new backstory that's never been established before. But hey, what do you know? I think that's what happens when you get too many people from too many different areas working on a game that's already got this established lore. They start throwing stuff in that's not just implausible, but just kind of doesn't really make sense. It's very, very cliched as well. Especially in Resident Evil Revelations, which, spoiler alert, you finish it and you realise that everyone survived, even the people you actually thought died. You know, it's like, you know, a hero can die, you know, you can have some heroism in self-sacrifice, or, you know. But, no, apparently in Resident Revelations, everybody survives because, I don't know. Maybe they thought, you know, kids will be playing it, need to be a happy ending. Let's pick up the second jewel. If you check this, you may find it is called the Virgin Heart. I'm not sure if it's different in another language, but they call it the Virgin Heart in this one. So we've got a second Virgin Heart. On through to the STARS office. I always loved how guides would always tell you when you enter a room, just stop and listen. You could listen for the enemy, you could hear where they were, what was going on. Work out the best weapon to use on them. Let's grab that extra shotgun while we're here. There's a Magnum here in Resi 3, and in Claire's scenario you get the grenade launcher. Very nice. Over here, well, the Red Cross should tell you all that you need to know. This is Rebecca Chambers' desk. Leon doesn't say anything, but Jill comments in Resi 3 that it looks like a rookie's desk. And considering she shares an office with Rebecca, it should be pretty clear she knows whose desk it is. And while we're in the STARS office, let's check out the people themselves. There we go, great picture. It's nice to see them all together. I don't know about you guys, but the background and the helicopter reminds me a little bit of the final scene in Day of the Dead. In the compound. And now, let's try the old secret. So some people might be watching this video and thinking, what the hell's he doing? Is his action button stuck or something? But it's actually the fact that, as some of you may not know, you can find hidden rolls of film in this game. Most of them are of G-Virus samples or something like that, and you can take them downstairs to the darkroom and get them developed. But, as people found out, I hope not through checking, I hope this was just released in a magazine, because if you clicked on this 50 times on everything, it would just be silly. If you search Wesker's desk 50 times, it tells you someone must have searched it. So you keep searching it, and what happens is, eventually, when you've searched it 50 times, you will find a hidden roll of film. You have to excuse me, I'm not keeping count. I'm just literally hammering the button as quick as I can. And eventually, there we go, a hidden roll of film. We will develop that downstairs later on. Quick check over at Barry's desk. Must be a member of the NRA. I imagine many of them are members of the NRA. Various trophies. Marksman contest winner Chris Redfield. Yep, Chris is a pretty good shot. Here's Jill's desk. As you can see, there is a blue beret just there. And there's also a picture of a young man. Does Jill have a boyfriend? Well, we don't know. That was never established in the first one. Those younger people might be looking at that desk saying, what are those big round things? Well, those are CDs, and that's what we had before everything went digital.
Leon!
It's good to see you're still among the living. It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all. There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it. That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
Anything happens?
I can't believe what is happening to this city.
Oh, believe it, Claire. Alison Court had such a great voice. I think she was perfect as Claire. And of course, she voiced Claire in every game and movie since, apart from Revelations 2, supposedly because of the actors' strike. And those of you who've kept your ears open and see what's going on with the remake, apparently Alison hasn't been asked to return for the remake, which is a shame because she's got that perfect voice, and she is Claire, you know. She's Claire in mind and body. She's always been loved by fans as Claire. So let's see what happens. Cast your mind back to Resi 3, coming down these stairs towards that window. Everyone remembers that window from Resi 3. Oh my god. I think many a heart attack was made on that moment. Just nobody saw it coming. It was absolutely brilliant. Well, first things first, while we're here, let's develop that film. Again, I'm keen to show off Easter eggs and secrets that people may not have seen before. So in the dark room we can develop film. Let's have a quick look at what we saw here. Recruit. There we go. Secret picture, Rebecca Chambers in a basketball uniform. I wonder if in the remake they'll have trophies perhaps for finding all the films. If there will even be films, you know, I'm not convinced, to be honest, that the remake is going to be the game that we remember. And not even in a good way, you know, it might be the game that we remember, it just might not be as good, it might just be a shooter. If you haven't checked it out, check out Rob Lima, L-I-M-A. Rob Lima's work on YouTube. His work is brilliant. He's remade Resi 2 single-handedly, using all the 3D assets from later games. His work is absolutely brilliant. Right, Unicorn Medal, let's head back to the main hall. I can't imagine working at the RPD would be particularly fun. There are no toilets, and it's incredibly hard to get anywhere. You have to walk for miles just to get to your office. Ooh, scary moment. I remember that unnerving me pretty much the first time I played it. God, that was scary. They can't hurt you, you know, it's just I think a guide I read called it a freak out Mickey. Must be some 90s expression I don't know about. Oh boy, that liquor. Ha! Not fast enough, buddy. Good try. I am looking forward to the liquors in the remake. The liquors are going to be brilliant. You know, as long as they're actual, you know, they're proper enemies, they're not literally just like Resi 5, they just throw 5 or 6 of them at you, you just mow them down with a Gatling gun. You know, I want the look to be scary, it's got to be tense, it's got to be, you know, suspenseful. A lot of horror games can't do that anymore, they don't seem to be able to get suspense right. You know, they think that if they just throw hordes of zombies at you that all drop ammo, and you just stand there mowing them down, then it's scary, and it's not. One zombie can be scary, with the right camera angles, the right music. Let's grab the shotgun and let's go and cleanse the ground floor. One of the doors that wouldn't open in the demo, but it opens now. Now the key here is to try and take several heads at once. They revamped the engine slightly for this game. I think the maximum zombies they could have on screen was 7, which was really impressive. 3 at once, boom. 3 more. That'll do. That was the other good thing about these old games as well. You know, you had to conserve your ammo. You literally couldn't afford to just run around shooting everything. Enemies didn't really drop ammo, you know. I know people who played Resi through, and they'd get halfway through the game, and then suddenly realise they hadn't conserved any ammo or health, and suddenly they're in this big problem, and they've got to start the whole game again. I mean, I admit I did that myself in Code Veronica, you know, getting to the Tyrant on the plane, and then suddenly realising, hang on, didn't see this coming. Let's let this guy have a little wander around, take him for a walk. He can try and get us, but I've got a feeling he's going to get us on the way out. 2236. You know you played the game a long time when you can remember every single code. Map? I don't need a map. I've played this game for 20 years. Ah, piece of cake. He's alright. Let's check out this guy. Basically, any body you come across, pretty much, if you check it, there's probably going to be ammo. I always go through this habit as well of stockpiling green herbs, you know. They say you can never have too many, and it's true. I've seen people do knife runs on this game, and, well, they didn't use that many herbs, which is impressive. Got that lovely ambience outside. You can hear the city and the dogs and the moans, and that's great. I haven't played Operation Raccoon City, and from what I've seen of it, Raccoon City looks like they've done it pretty well, but unfortunately I'm not one for these, you know, alternate reality spin-offs ones. I don't really get them. I don't get the appeal. That guy on the floor having a cheeky look round. He caught me out the first time. I think he catches everybody out at least once. Capcom were clever like that. They throw stuff in to catch you off guard. Right, we've got the spade key, let's head back upstairs. As soon as we can get to that emergency ladder, that's going to be fun. That'll allow us a quick, easy up and down. They probably included that in there. Capcom maybe felt with the first game there was too much backtracking. Maybe some people got a bit bored, didn't really have the patience. But in Resi 2 they've included that brilliant emergency ladder, which again isn't there in the demo. So I guess Capcom figured at some point, yeah, you know, people are getting annoyed with this. We're going to have to give them an easy way to get up and down. I don't know how long I'm going to leave this liquor here. I mean, you know, I've got to go back and forth here a few times. I think he heard me, even though I'm not making a sound. I think he heard me. Here he comes. Ah, he got me. Let's hide in here. Alright, welcome to the filing room. You don't have to come in here in Scenario B, all that you get is a first aid spray and an ink ribbon. But what we need is the crank, a staple of the old Resi items. No hexagonal crank in this one, just the square one. Why you keep a crank on top of a filing cabinet in a police station is anyone's business, but hey, this RPD doesn't make any sense. You'd have to leave the building just to go to the toilet. Oh, it's brilliant, up on the ceiling, hissing and waiting like a spider. The Lickers were a great enemy. Here's hoping we see them in the remake. Right, no arms through the boards this time. That was a one-off. Although in Scenario B, 2 gate crashers will jump through here. And they are pretty hard to avoid. God, it would certainly keep you fit, wouldn't it? Walking around the RPD if you worked there 9 hours a day. Lovely chilling music at the second floor again. And so we're back in the library. I love Leon's animation, he stops being injured as he walks up the stairs, and then he's injured again at the top. Selective injury. I think this game's famous for those mini heart attacks they used to do, that was one of them. Let's check it out. That may give you a clue, if you need one. Again, if this is your first time watching Resi 2, that would be awesome. I'd love to know that it was somebody's first time seeing it. It is a classic game. The fact that it's being played and promoted so much now because of the anniversary is just brilliant to see. I honestly can't think of many games that have come out recently that are still going to be this renowned and played this much in 20 years' time. One of the chest plugs. I'm sure somebody makes these somewhere and sells them in little sets, but let's go and find them. Second floor balcony. God, this place is huge. Fortunately, the occupants are pretty easy to avoid, try as they might. And there's the emergency ladder. That is going to save us a lot of backtracking later on. The zombies are tricky to avoid in this place, but you know, if you're quick. If you're quick, you can do it. Or just lure them to these places and you can run around them. There we go. Good effort, zombie, good effort. Now in the secretary's office. So I wonder if all the guests at the police department had to go up the emergency escape ladder in order to come and meet the chief or anyone. It's anyone's guess. You can of course read the diary, find out all about the police chief's creepy hobbies and interests. He's got a great subplot. It's a shame none of that was in the movie. Mind you, it's a shame none of this was in the movie. There's a lot of potential, a lot of good characters, a lot of good story. But the films didn't do it justice. Even George A. Romero, the late George A. Romero's original script. I've read it. It was okay. It was closer to Resi, but it wasn't a great adaptation. Oh, another great jump scare. Not sure what happened there. I think the crow touched me and fell dead. That's never happened before. Maybe Leon's poisonous if he's pecked. The rooftop, we'll find out all about that helicopter in Scenario B, how it got there. This is maybe an example of the early stages of a character zapping system, in that you had two scenarios that could overlap. No point in killing the zombies down here. I mean, a lot of the zombies can be avoided. Good try. They can be avoided. That balcony up on the left you may have seen with the railing was actually an area in the beta version. As I said, this game went through several iterations before it was finalised, and as I said, it was scrapped after 70%, which seems to have paid off in Capcom's favour, because this title is renowned by many people as the best in the series. Grab some ammo. Shall I open the door in here? What do you guys think? Shall I open the door? No, I'll be right. I don't feel like adding to the challenge. Yep, the railing's up there on the left. That was one of the beta versions. You can still play it actually if you download one of the compiled ROMs. A lot of people are very, very keen to get playable working demos of the 1.5 version. I mean, it's not fully complete, but you can see what could have been. I think it's more a historical curiosity. Right, let's put out this fire with that conveniently placed water tank. Of course, in scenario B, you put out the fire, and then Mr. X will come to say hi. As I said before, guys, if you've got anything to comment, any suggestions, any tips, it is my first stream. So any suggestions or constructive feedback are welcome. Or just tell me what you think of Resi 2. Or if you've got any questions or anything, I will do my best to answer them. The valve handle, that will come in handy later. Oh, that chilling music, as soon as you open the door, it just unsettles you brilliantly. The crows aren't deadly, but, you know, they're not particularly nice either. Let's head over here, grab a green herb. Anyone who's played the director's cut might remember the random item placements. That was always tricky. You never knew where the items were going to be. You might need a herb, you'd run to an area you thought there was one, and there wasn't a herb, there was a zombie. I mustn't get too cocky with the zombie dodging, or else this is going to be a short run. I don't want to get eaten before I'm even out of the police department. Take this guy down. There we go. Lure this guy out. There we go, easy. You'll find a licker lurking in the skylight in here in scenario B. It's a brilliant jump scare as he drops through. Pick up the diamond key. I'm getting tired of Leon being injured, let's use a green herb. Does Resident Evil have a subtle drugs underplot going on? The fact that, you know, taking green herbs makes you feel better? Or makes you feel good? I wonder. Mind you, with the game's rating, you know, they can put, you know, cannibalism and decapitations. I'm sure a bit of drug abuse wouldn't go amiss. Right, let's grab those 2 red jewels. And get ourselves the king plug. Valve handle we don't need. Rook plug we don't need. This game is a masterclass in item management. Something the later games didn't do too well. Well, Resi 4 did okay. Later games it was just grab it, use it, grab it, use it. This one you had to plan ahead so much. A friend of mine was playing this the other day, and he forgot to pick up the plug in this room. So he got all the way down to the sewers where you use the plugs. I was looking through the chest going, I'm sure I picked it up. So let that be a lesson. Double check you've actually picked stuff up before you leave the room. There we go, and then we get one of those cool little FMV cutscenes. Ta-da! There it is. So I think we got the rook plug, the king plug. Just need the bishop plug and the knight plug. Again, you could ask yourself, you know, does somebody have to go around gathering up all the plugs every time they need to pay a visit to the basement or whatever? But that's the thing about these games. Suspend your disbelief. But hey, at least the Spencer Mansion in the first game actually had one toilet. You know, that's saying something. You don't want to be caught short in that place. Oh no. Alright, head back downstairs. Although actually I've just thought of a better way. See, you can play this game for 20 years and you can still be thinking, oh, I'm not quite sure how to do it. There must always be a better shortcut. This isn't a speedrun, guys. I won't be speedrunning. You always wonder, couldn't Leon just, you know, climb over the fence and run off? But no, apparently not. Back in 90s PS1 games, you couldn't jump, you couldn't climb, you couldn't do anything. Unless you were Lara Croft, I suppose. 96 was a good year. You had Tomb Raider, you had Resident Evil, you had Crash Bandicoot. That was a good decade for gaming. Before everything got stupid and companies got bloated and, you know, they recycled the same shit year after year after year. We have another little Easter egg coming up soon that I wasn't aware of actually until recently, so keep watching and you will see another little Easter egg. I always take this guy out, he's a pain to avoid. Plus I can spare the ammo, we're all good. Oh god, they take more bullets from a distance. Take that guy out. There we go. Yeah, we can ignore this guy, he's alright. Ha, nice try. Nice little Easter egg, check out the left. It says Red Rum in the same font as The Shining. Nice little reference to another classic horror there. Shame The Shining won't have any Resident Evil references. Ah, the room with the mirror. Who knows what's coming up? Tony, sorry that I don't speak that. I speak English if if that's possible. Ah, there we go. Hi, PlayStation guy. Not sure what that symbol is, but thanks for joining. What is that? Is that symbol, PlayStation guy? So what have we got now? Yet another plug. I think it's time we paid our old friend Marvin Branner a visit, see how he's getting on. As always guys, have you got any questions or any suggestions or any comments? PlayStation Guy, that is music to my ears. I did actually hear an article, well I saw an article yesterday, someone supposedly knew about the game. He said, okay, there's no giant crocodile, the hunk scenario is going to be DLC, what else was there? Oh, it's going to be over the shoulder, there's not going to be fixed camera angles. Is there any new information? Feel free to type it. Oh, brilliant. Fire away, tell me what it was. A release date or a trailer or a screenshot, hopefully. I'm intrigued. Ah, damn it. That guy will not give me a break. But then, of course, once the zombies break in, he disappears anyway, so maybe I should just leave him. Save my ammo. PlayStation Guy, the anticipation is killing me. I need to know what this new leak is. Mind you, of course, even the rumours, I think they're all speculation at the moment, but yeah. Oh, very cool. Thanks for the information. Yeah, I really hope there is a classic mode. I did actually hear that there will be... Ah, damn it. I did actually hear there might be an option to use ink ribbons, which would be pretty cool. Cool, okay, that sounds good. Well, let's not forget that the remake of the original Resident Evil on the GameCube added a lot of stuff, about 70% new, but in essence it was still the same game that we enjoyed. I really hope that's the case with Resi 2. You know, give us the game we like, but by all means add extra bits. 2 new transformations. Well, the 3D models they made for the Dark Side Chronicles were brilliant. I mean, if they look anything as good as that, that would be good. Here's Marvin. Because of the graphical limitations in the Nintendo 64 version, Marvin actually just sort of changes colour instantly. He doesn't fade like that great effect was there. If anyone's played the Nintendo 64 version, well, that's all interesting, PlayStation Guy. Yeah, I imagine. I mean, there will be trophy support as well. So I did wonder if there might be a speedrun trophy, which would be quite cool. Check it out, party hats and alcohol. They were waiting for Leon, and then they all got up to eat him. Poor guy. So we now got the heart key. Let's head down to the basement. That's a good staple of horror movies, isn't it? Yep, I heard about the items sparkling, that's pretty cool. I don't know, maybe gamers today, maybe they're not as observant as they used to be, you know, the whole... That's what I mean, with the Resident Evil series especially, it used to be about foraging and searching, whereas these days, it's more literally about shoot, pick up, you know, something that's sat in the floor in front of you. So, the item sparkling thing, I kind of understand. And I did hear the crocodile boss battle may not be in it. But it wasn't even a battle, is it? I mean, as I'll obviously play later on, you can either, you know, do it like Jaws and just blow up the gas canister. Or you can, actually, you know, shoot him for real. But, I'd hardly say he was a boss battle. Yep, I've heard that they're going to be expanding Ada and Sherry's sections. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm all up for that, you know, Ben Bertolucci, the guy in the cell, yeah, I mean, keep him there, but by all means expand on it. That's the point, you know, when this game came out, there were time limits, especially considering that you had to, you know, that people, that they scrapped it 70% in. So, I love the idea that they're going to include bug fixes automatically, because they already know there will be bugs. That's just a given these days, isn't it? It's like, we'll release the game and then we'll release patches. It's like, can't you just, you know, finish the game before you release it? Whereas with games these days, they always have to be released broken. You know, they waited 20 years for the Resi remake. You know, you can wait another month or so to get the creases ironed out. There we go. Now this dog, oh, you know, he will never come around the corner until you get really, really close. PlayStation guy, you are very, very knowledgeable. Are you allowed to tell us where you got this information from? I mean, obviously don't give us your name or your job or anything, but, you know, I'm interested to know where you heard all this. Because, hey, let's face it, we're all excited. We're all excited about the remake. Your Power Room puzzle? Alex the Consumed King, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. This is actually my first stream, but being such a passionate Resi head, you know, I had to sort of celebrate the anniversary with a playthrough. So I've said to everyone, if you got any comments or constructive suggestions, I am all up for hearing it. Oh, somebody probed Capcom servers. Okay. Well, thanks for the information. I mean, you'll forgive me, but I take everything I hear online with a pinch of salt. I'm sure you understand. But yeah, it's all interesting stuff. And hey, you know, considering Capcom haven't even released a screenshot yet, I mean, you know, they can't be surprised if people are guessing and are looking around, can they? We were all hoping for the 20th anniversary Capcom might release something, but they didn't. Any Ada Wong fans here? She's a good character. Chester, how's it going? Thanks for joining us through this lovely playthrough of the GameCube version of Resident Evil 2.
Sorry about that. When I saw the uniform, I thought you were another zombie.
You can see why she'd think that.
Who are you?
The scowl on his face probably adds to the look.
Ada Wong.
And what are you doing here?
I'm looking for some guy named Ben. He's one of those reporter types, always looking for a scoop. I heard he was locked up in the cell block, only there's a wrecked car barring the entrance. I've been trying to find another way inside. If we work together, we can move this thing. Give me a hand here, will you?
Actually, Ada, before I do that, there's actually a herb I want to go and get. Okay, PlayStation guy, that's interesting. I suppose so, but I mean, Capcom's fan base has changed a lot. I mean, no one asked for Defense Weapons or Crimson Heads in the remake, and they were very well received, but then they weren't in Zero either. And Zero was still pretty good, pretty well received. Chester, that's pretty cool. Is it hard to emulate the N64 version? Because I've seen there's a lot of graphical problems, just given, you know, how difficult it is to emulate some games on N64. What's it like in your experience? Alright, PlayStation guy, well thanks for all the info, that's really interesting, and it'll be good to see Capcom finally release something.
Ada, wait!
As I said at the start, I find the GameCube version probably... I mean, I haven't got the PC version, but I do own it on PS1, GameCube, N64, and Dreamcast. The FMV quality on the Dreamcast, I think, is definitely the best. But as an all-rounder, I find the GameCube version really nice, really sharp, really smooth. Hello, Ben Bertolucci.
Let me guess. You must be Ben, right? Get up, now!
Oh, okay,
What do you
PlayStation guy,
want?
that's
I'm
pretty
trying
cool.
to
I said I
sleep
haven't played
here.
the PC version, but that's good to know that I'm playing probably the best version.
Is this the guy?
Ben, you told the city officials that you knew something about what's been going on, didn't you? What did you tell them?
And who the heck are you?
I'm trying to find my boyfriend. His name's John. He was working for a branch office of Umbrella, based in Chicago, but he suddenly disappeared 6 months ago. I heard a rumor that he's here in the city.
No mobile phones back then, I guess.
I don't know anything. And even if I did, why would I want to tell you?
Okay, I say we leave him in there. Does anyone know where they put the key to this cell?
I have it right here, officer. But I'm not about to leave this cell.
Yeah, I've got the original
Those
Resi on
zombies aren't the
Windows
only things
95.
crawling around out there.
I can't even play it on a modern computer.
What was that?
Like I said, I'm not leaving this cell. Get out of here before you lead it right to me.
Oh, it's too
Hey,
late for
I'm
that.
not going anywhere. I'm the only cop left alive in this building.
What?
Look, if you want to live, then you're gonna have to leave with me.
But do you even know how to get out of the city?
I do have a PS4, yeah.
There's a kennel in the back of the building. Inside the kennel is a manhole. Go through and it'll lead you to the sewer entrance, but it won't be easy.
It never is.
All right, I'm going.
And there's a map for any of us who need to know. Just go and grab the old manhole cover. Chester, yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day. I've heard it's quite hard to emulate, but then again, it's such a sought after game. I did used to have it on Nintendo 64 back in the day, actually. I think it was. I think Conker was kind of more popular because it's quite notorious, not necessarily because it's a really good game. I found the gameplay quite disjointed. It doesn't flow particularly well, but you know, it was Rare's last game for the 64, so you know, I suppose they literally said, "Hey, what the hell? Let's just make whatever the hell we want." You know, putting as much swearing, as much obscenities. I love it. I love the fact that Conker was a little playable character on Diddy Kong Racing, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's a cute little squirrel." And then they see what his life's really like, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." Any arachnophobes, you may want to look away now. My girlfriend absolutely hates spiders, so I'm glad she's not actually watching this bit. She would not enjoy it. Always nice when you get through the sewers without being poisoned, isn't it? Right, let's have a little inventory juggle around. Now, I've got 3 of the plugs. I'm just, yeah, what the hell. Let's just whack in 3 of them. I've got to leave that room and exit anyway so I can meet Ada. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. I mean, it's nice to see people jumping in and out. As it is my first stream. I like to talk, I like Resi. And I thought it'd be nice just to share the celebration of the 20th anniversary with you guys. So, thanks for watching. Yeah, I've got a few platinums. I mean, I only really platinum games that I really enjoy. I'm not one of these people who just literally plays any old cheap game just for more trophies. I know people who've got, you know, hundreds. But every single platinum I've got is because I loved the game and no other reason. Galako? I hope I pronounced that okay. Yes, the savoury music it is, isn't it? It's brilliant music, absolutely brilliant.
Ada?
Ada does like to sneak up on us,
I don't
doesn't
think
she?
I've introduced myself yet. My name's Leon. I'm with the RPD. It's a dead end.
Yeah, he's a sharp guy.
You think we can get upstairs through this shaft? Give me a boost. I'll go and check.
Yeah, I guess the dialogue didn't improve a great deal from the first game. You guys might remember the old live-action cutscene that started off the first game. Anyone played the uncut version with the blood and the colour? That was pretty cool. They censored it everywhere outside of, I think it was Germany was the only place where the original Resi intro wasn't censored. And there's a few people who've compiled versions online where you can actually play it with the uncut music. Well, I say uncut, the original music. So, according to various rumours and obviously what PlayStation guys kindly suggested tonight, apparently this section with Ada might be more fleshed out. Perhaps she'll meet John at one point. Perhaps we'll see more of her backstory. But then again, of course, you know, if you've played Resi 2 before, you'll know the truth about Ada. So we don't really want to know too much about her because, of course, you know, spoilers. No, I'm not going to mention the twist at the end, just in case anybody hasn't played it yet. Was that it? Nice, Daggy. Now let's head downstairs. Of course, this is where you come up when you play as Sherry, in Claire's scenario. But if you go in here, you can get a little extra goodie. Because, let's face it, Leon can never have too many shotgun shells. And of course, don't forget that when you get the custom parts for the shotgun, if you use up all your ammo first and then use the parts, you get more ammo, fully reloaded. There's a free tip, some free advice for you. Ah, the sewage treatment plant. God, I bet it stinks. Don't know about you guys, when I was playing this 20 years ago as a kid, well, A, I thought it was the greatest game ever, and B, when I got to this bit, I couldn't figure out how to get down the steps. I thought this was a gate or something I was meant to be running through. I was literally there for like probably half an hour, and then I suddenly realised, oh, hang on, there are some steps. I had a guide and everything, you know, I could see the steps in the pictures, but I couldn't figure out how to get down there. I obviously wasn't a particularly bright kid, so when I finally got down here, you know, I felt like I'd achieved something. Let's do the old puzzle. God, it's annoying playing as Sherry on this. She always gets, because she's so short, she always gets her legs stuck. PlayStation guy, thanks for the friend ad. I'll be sure to add you. Always up for keeping in touch with like-minded friends. And yes, I will be sure to platinum Resi 2. As long as I don't have some stupid, you know, bloody online multiplayer that no one wanted or asked for. They should know by Operation Raccoon City that online is not a good idea. Not for Resi. Even Resi 5, you know, Resi 6. I mean, who played the online Resi 5 and Resi 6? I mean, God, that stuff was just stupid. It wasn't even Resi after a while. Chester. Okay, cool. So you play Resi 5 and 6. I mean, I'm sure it's fun online. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I just like my horror games, you know, to be, you know, single player, scary, tense, suspenseful. I just think playing online with loads of people, you don't have the time to get, you know, to get the suspense built up and get the tension going. Cool. I mean, I have played Resi 5 and 6. I played all the Resis.
Leon, can you hear me?
But my favourite one is the one that I'm playing right now. 20 years later, still playing it.
Right here.
I don't think it's actually been a year gone by since it came out that I haven't played
fast.
Resi 2.
Here's one more.
Ow! My foot.
Hey, I can't reach the ventilation hole. I'm going to have to find another way around. I'll catch up with you later.
She's really dressed for the whole zombie apocalypse occasion, isn't she? I mean, that's going to offer a lot of protection.
What? Ada, wait!
Oh, the Manhunt games, Chester. Yeah, absolutely. The Manhunt games are brilliant. They're they're a really, really good lesson again in tension and suspense. The fact that the game encourages you to actually be stealthy. It doesn't want you to really run around, running into everything headlong, because you will lose. And that's why I like these old classics. They encourage you to be careful. They encourage you to, think a little bit, use a bit of strategy. Just because I'm feeling extra careful and because that spider almost got me, I'm going to quickly run back up and grab the blue herb. I'm slightly OCD about this, I don't really like to use first aid sprays unless I absolutely have to. I'd rather rely on herbs. Yeah, Bully 2 would be good. Bully was a great game. I mean, the way that they basically just made GTA in the playground, I mean, it worked perfectly. Same as Red Dead Redemption, GTA in the West. Although, of course, Bully 2, where would you go with it? What, when Jimmy's at college or whatever university, it's kind of, you do it once, unless, of course, you're going to play as a different school kid. God, those spiders in my surround sound headset, it sounds like they're right behind you. That's nice, nice bit of audio. We're not going to go check out the cells because the dogs will jump out. Yeah, GTA 5, it's a funny one, isn't it? I think GTA 5 is literally like Marmite. You do either love it or you hate it. I like the single player story, but I preferred the gritty realism of GTA 4. I personally found GTA 4 a lot more... Yeah, the story was a lot more visceral. I mean, the characters were more believable, I think. It wasn't silly and over the top like GTA 5 was. But, I mean, Rockstar have made billions on GTA 5. It's the fastest selling entertainment product in history. So, they did something right, and good for them. It's not really a good moment when you are above zero. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. I just realised it's not a really good point in Resi to suddenly be down in the basement with two lickers facing you and realise that you haven't actually saved it yet. Thanks for joining us, Above Zero. I'm guessing you're a Resident Evil 2 fan as well. Currently playing the GameCube version. It's my first stream, so please feel free to make any comments or suggestions if you so wish. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. I didn't touch that zombie. But hey, you don't go back in there again, so at least it's okay. You don't waste ammo. If you ever check out somebody on YouTube doing a knife-only run of this game, it is incredible. I mean, it's got to be, it's got to be segmented. I don't think you could do it in one go as well as they can. But as I said, I'm not speedrunning this. I'm just enjoying it. It's a great game. Who's my favourite gang from GTA 3? Oh god, I haven't really played GTA 3 that much, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. Physical ramifications manifesting in my head thinking about this video game has got my hair dreading into logs, bloody zombie flesh. Yeah, I feel the same, man. It is a great game. The music especially gets in your head. I mean, filmmakers as well as game makers, a lot of people forget that, sound is half the experience. It's funny, actually, I played the demo of this recently. Me and a friend were just playing through the original demo of Resi 2 again, just to see sort of how it all changed. And it's funny because when you open the inventory, Leon looks like Leonardo DiCaprio, which is maybe where they got his name from. And when you cancel, you don't have that bloop sound. It makes like a ooh sound like that, and I'm not really sure what was going on with it, but I'm glad they changed the sound effects. You like the cartels from GTA 3? Okay, cool. The Grand Theft Auto I probably spent the most time on. is I'd probably say GTA 4. I mean, that's one of my platinum trophies because I just really enjoyed it. And I said, I think platinum trophies for me, if you are a trophy hunter, you should play a game because you love it, not just because you want to storm through it and get all the trophies. You know, games are meant to be played; they're not meant to be, just stormed through. They're meant to be enjoyed, like like a good meal. They're meant to be savoured. They're not just meant to be wolfed down so that you can say that you've eaten it. Right, we now have the club key, so we're going to take a quick whistle-stop tour to the chest. Head off and use the club key, and then we are almost done with the police station. What's up? Checking out, lying on the floor. They've also been working that zombie way too hard. I mean, who needs a rest? Maybe the zombies should go on strike, Oh no, we shouldn't call them zombies, should we? According to Bart Simpson, they prefer to be called the living impaired. Above zero, very funny. Hey, well, yeah, you know what? Hey, if you want to brag about trophies, then that's great. And some people do. I mean, ultimately, what are trophies good for? They are just bragging rights. Same as achievements, I don't really play on my Xbox 360 very much, so I mean, my gamer score is very low. But again, what's it good for? Bragging rights. Nothing wrong with that. My first platinum was Mirror's Edge, and I spent weeks on that game. Literally speedrun after speedrun, trying to perfect it. That was a hard game, but my god, getting that platinum, the satisfaction you get from that game. And that's what I think platinum trophies should be about. I think they should be about an achievement. You've done something difficult. That's right, yeah, you can get the Explorer cheat system, I think, isn't it? Although, of course, some people might say, if the online servers have closed, I can't get the trophies now. What am I supposed to do? I think game companies really need to sort of think about that when they're doing it, because a lot of people do want to get, platinum trophies. But if you bring out a game and then 6 months later you close the servers... Yeah, the Game Genies, I remember those. Back in the days of the, I guess it was like Sega Mega Drive and that, wasn't it? Good old Game Genies. I used to have an old exploded cheat cartridge for my PlayStation. It's great fun. You used to be able to capture like FMVs and sound effects and like change the pitch and that on them. Oh, okay, see, are you actually speaking and it's typing? Sitting on the toilet watching the video. I hope the video's not that scary that you have to sit on the toilet. But thanks for tuning in anyway. It's nice to share the anniversary of such a classic game with people. Just remember there was no YouTube when this came out. Games weren't being streamed when this came out. The most powerful gaming system around was, well, the PlayStation. Unless you had like a really nice PC with Windows 95 on it. So 20 years later, being able to share the experience with people and chat with people all over the world who you would never have had any chance of knowing back then, it's really cool. And it's nice to see so many people involved. Well, now we're going to go and grab the crank, head back upstairs. We're almost done with the police department. Ned Smith from Ireland. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for joining. Absolutely, yeah. The dog's jumping through the window. I think that's it. In the over 20 years since Resi came out, you say to people, "What was the scariest part of the Resi series?" And people will either say the dog's through the window, or they'll say Nemesis through the window. I think that's literally what anybody would say, because It's got to be. It's got to be the scariest moments. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's not forget T-103, Mr. X coming through the wall in Scenario B. That was a heart-stopping moment as well. You just lit the faucets, you turn around, what was that? And then bang, through the wall. Oh, nice try. You may not be aware actually, but obviously the T-103 Mr. X in this game being like a pursuer who'd follow you around. Nemesis in the third one obviously is a similar character. Nemesis was actually an unused design for the T-103. So they actually both started off as a pursuing tyrant. Obviously they kept the drawings of Nemesis, they liked him, so they actually made him the villain in the next game. Very cool. Above Zero, MS-DOS. Oh god. Very, very old game. Well, sorry, old game, I mean old OS, yeah. Yeah, so they have got Resident Evil on the PC, and it does say it needs Windows 95. I've tried running it on modern computers, but no success, unfortunately. The third floor. I always expect a liquor to be up here, but I think that's only Scenario B. It does make you wonder sometimes as you're playing it, you do think, hang on, which scenario am I in? And is that in this scenario? Is that in that scenario? So use that pesky crank, get rid of it. I think all those creaky sounds of that, they must just come from the same library. I've seen episodes of the X-Files where a door's opened, like, and I've literally known it's the sound effect from Resi. I mean, that sounds geeky, but you think, yeah, but that must all just come from one sound library, because of course, on TV, pretty much every single sound is put in afterwards manually. They use very, very little of what they actually record on set. So, it's very, very likely that game sound effects find their way into films and TV shows as well. I mean, that's just normal, I think. Here we go, the last plug, the night plug. Yeah, sure, I'll jump into the darkness down an old dust chute from the top of a massive building. Leon's not the brightest cop, but hey, why not? Whee!
No!
Yes!
Get away!
There's Ben getting impregnated. Didn't enjoy it. And our first glimpse of William Birkin. One of the greatest villains in the series in my book. So as you do in every good horror story, let's go and have a look. Morbid curiosity got the better of me.
Ben!
That's right.
Can you still hear me? Come on, answer!
Damn! I don't believe this. I almost got the story.
Still a reporter.
Bitter irony. The chief of police, a co-conspirator. Get that scum. Make him pay.
Hang in there, Ben.
Oh, and here's the alien moment coming up.
It's burning.
What's wrong?
Oh!
Good God, what was that?
Where are you going, Ada?
To the chemical plant. I have a feeling that's where I'll find John.
Ada, wait! Hey! Do you read me, Claire? We now have access to the back of the parking lot.
Got it.
I'm getting out of here and heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
I'm trying to make an effort to not talk through the cutscenes. I've seen some people on YouTube who literally just talk non-stop throughout the whole thing. They even read the text that's on the screen. I don't know if people like that. As I said, this is my first stream, but if I'm watching a stream and there's a story or conversation going on, I'd rather the person, you know, just shut up and let you hear it. So I'm trying to do that wherever possible. Ned Smith, yeah, he exploded. Maybe he ordered too much food to his cell. It's interesting how they show how the G virus is very different to the T virus, and that the T virus was injected into the tyrant to enhance it, but the G virus actually gives its host much stronger attributes, like it allows them, yeah, to implant embryos and create offspring, which again is something you think Umbrella would probably try and iron out, because they wouldn't want their monster out in the battlefield suddenly reproducing beyond control. Oh god, that was close. Right, probably a good time to save it, just because I'm slightly paranoid. The interesting thing there about Ben's death is that obviously Birkin implanted an embryo in him. However, it rejected him. It did grow a little bit, but it obviously realised that its host wasn't suitable. And that's quite interesting, because you don't often see that with other monsters in this series. I think Birkin is probably the only one that can actually implant embryos. Which is obviously why, if you remember in Scenario B, he's after Sherry, because they're from the same family. Apparently her DNA will take, so it's quite a dark concept. You know, you kind of look at the animal kingdom and the way that, like, certain animals will sort of store their young inside other animals, or you get the cuckoo that will leave its eggs in the nest of another bird. And you kind of think, well, I suppose Birkin doing that, it's a much more animalistic thing. It stops him, it kind of removes him from just being a weapon that was engineered, and it actually makes him slightly more terrifying and more animalistic. Anyway, speaking of that little parasitic thing that burst out of Ben's chest, let's go and see what's happened to it. Again, guys, if this is your first time experiencing Resi 2, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know that somebody's watching who has never played this gem before. Similar mutation to Nemesis in his final form in the third game, actually, now that I look at it. This boss was done very, very well in the Dark Side Chronicles, I think. If Resi 2 Remake looks anything like that, we're in for a treat. I'm going to take this guy out the easy way. He'll keep vomiting little guys on the floor. As long as you keep toggling up and down, up and down, up and down, you can take him out pretty quick. Only use about maybe 40% of ammo. Oh, just under. Easy. But of course, as you probably know, using these special weapons, you can't get an A rank. You can unlock the submachine gun with infinite ammo, rocket launcher with infinite ammo, Gatling gun with infinite ammo. Chester, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again.
Ada!
You just missed the first boss. I forget what it's called, the G-mutant that vomits little bad guys.
What was that all about? Running off like that was reckless and stupid. Those zombies are everywhere. Not to mention that thing that got Ben.
I was there, Leon. I know.
She's very sympathetic.
Look, Ada. As an officer, it's my job to look out for you. But we're not going to get through this alive if we don't work together. Okay?
All right. We'll do this your way for now.
You could tell from the start that Ada was shifty. It's not that she's uncaring, you know, she just seems very, I guess, unconcerned is the word. She obviously knows far more than she's letting on. I like this feature. If you stand next to the sewage pipes, they pour up against Leon until you move out of the way. Nice little feature. And because they know you've probably been poisoned at some point, let's grab a couple of blue herbs. I did actually play it recently, and Ada got poisoned. But of course, because you can't access her inventory sort of properly, you couldn't actually heal her. She was okay though. A cutscene happened and she was fine again, so everyone's happy, no problem. I'm not going to grab the Magnum rounds from down there because I don't really think I need to. What I am going to do though, because I always forget, I am going to take the valve handle. Let's grab ourselves the shotgun, some ammo, and the valve handle. Let's do that. I'm sure every single person who's played this has forgotten the valve handle at some point and then got there and just gone, no! Ned Smith, it would have been great, wouldn't it? But of course, then it would have had to have been rendered in first person and in real time, so it wouldn't have worked on PlayStation 1 hardware. But oh, he took a bullet for her. Good man.
Leon, that woman was... I have to talk to her.
And once again, Ada's just unconcerned. Cheers, Leon. I don't really know you, but thanks for that. Yeah, Ned Smith. It would be cool. I mean, some people have suggested that the Resi 2 remake may be rendered in first person, like Resi 7 was. I mean, given the success of Resident Evil 7 in the VR community, you can see why they might be doing that. But of course, bear in mind, Resi 7 is a new entry. It's made to appeal to a new generation. The Resi 2 remake is designed to appeal to people of my generation, people who actually grew up with it as children. So, I'm thinking, you know, I hope they don't, you know, make it only first person, just to appeal to the crowds today. I hope there's something in there for us veterans. So, PlayStation guy earlier actually mentioned that he'd heard rumours that maybe it will, incorporate classic mode with fixed camera angles as well. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because this brilliant cutscene's coming up and it's nice to enjoy it.
Don't move. You're the one who was with that cop, if I'm not mistaken. Identify yourself.
Ada Wong.
Ada Wong. I've heard that name before. Now I remember. One of the men from Chicago who came to assist the T-Virus research used his girlfriend's name as his password. Ada and John, I believe.
How did you know? Who are you?
Annette Birkin. My husband is the man responsible for the creation of the T-Virus. William Birkin.
What?
John's dead. He became one of those zombies. My condolences. And although I regret this, you will be joining him shortly. I won't let anyone take the G-Virus away from me.
G-Virus?
It's capable of creating the ultimate bioweapon. Its potential is even greater than that of the T-Virus.
Then that must mean the creature in the police department is...
Precisely. My husband, William. And it's all Umbrella's fault. None of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to steal his research away from him.
This way.
It's sheer perfection. My precious G-Virus. No one will ever take you away from me.
There he is.
So you finally come.
Doctor, we're here to collect the G-Virus sample.
Sorry, but I won't just hand over my life's work.
might hit the sample. That's it, all right. Okay, let's move out.
William. Oh my. Hold on, darling. I'm taking care of that bullet wound first. Stay here.
Which one? There's about 100.
Alpha team, have you retrieved the sample yet?
Affirmative. We'll be at the rendezvous point in 1 minute.
Roger.
Brilliant.
Are you telling me that he injected the G-virus into his own body?
The G-virus has the ability to revitalize cellular functions.
What was that? Something's wrong. Let's check it out. Over there! Shoot! Eat this, you freak! I'm stopping it! What is this thing? Hurry! What is this thing? Fire! Fire! You son of a...
Why was none of that brilliant sequence in the movies? The movies wasted their opportunity.
So those rats were the carriers of the virus.
As a result of his virus-induced transmutation, William should have lost any prior memories he had as a human by now. Even worse, every G-virus bioweapon, including William, has the ability to implant embryos into other creatures.
And create offspring. No.
Oh!
Too bad.
Okay, and so we're back again. I don't know about you guys, that was one of my favourite moments in the series, the scene where we see what happened to William, what Umbrella did to him. I know that's a homage, well I say homage, you do that bit in the Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City as well. But oh, there we go.
Ada?
I found out recently, actually, if you're already in caution mode, so like Leon's holding his side because he's injured, if you then let Ada heal you after you've killed the crocodile, you're actually back at full health again. She doesn't just put the bandage on you, she does actually fully heal your character. There's the Umbrella SWAT team that we just saw get slaughtered. More shotgun shells, can never have enough of those. And the Wolf Medal, which you may remember from the first Resi game, Eagle of East and Wolf of West. Oh, more spiders. Remember, they are venomous, not poisonous. They are only poisonous if you eat them. If you bite into them and you die, it's poisonous. If it bites into you and you die, it's venomous. Let's always remember that. Let's go and drop in one medal while I'm here. Clear a bit of the inventory space. Quickly before they... God, they're pretty agile. I think I saw the story once talking about the physics of it all and how a spider that big couldn't physically exist because of gravity's effect on its body. Its limbs wouldn't be able to support its weight. So that movie, Eight-Legged Freaks, while it's fun, it's scientifically impossible. Now earlier, PlayStation Guy actually mentioned a point. Again, he's heard various information from a couple of different sources about it. One of them suggests, and I've read this one myself, that the giant alligator may not be in the new version, the new remake. I mean, I hope that's not true. Again, he's not even exactly a boss, is he? He's just he's just there. But he's pretty cool. He's also in the Resident Evil Survivor games. I think you go into a tunnel and you meet two of them, which is quite cool. There was a guy in one of the Resident Evil Facebook groups. He works at a train station, and the other day he posted a picture of the most amazingly creepy tunnel that looked exactly like this view here. I mean, it was perfect. You know, if you were going to make a Resi film, you'd go to that tunnel.
Ada!
Wait for it. Oh, there he is. Can crocodiles roar like that? Alligators roar like that? I don't know. It's a game. Come on, big guy. Come and get it. Anyone seen Jaws? Smile, you son of a... Hello again, PlayStation Guy. Glad to see you're still here. It's nice that you guys are still joining me for this. Let's hope that isn't the last time we see the giant alligator. I really hope he is back in the Resident Evil 2 remake. That would be great. You know, if they made it like the remake of 1 was, you know, essentially the same game, same enemies, but just add areas and add a bit of character development and that, you know. You don't have to remove big chunks like that.
Leon.
This bullet wound isn't making things any easier.
Quiet, Leon. I'll patch you up. That's 2 I owe you.
Don't mention it.
I just found out. John's dead.
What?
Never mind. Let's just get out of here. The sooner the better.
You know, I say Ada sounds unconcerned. She doesn't sound that emotionally involved. Maybe that's the voice actor, or maybe that's literally it, because Ada... Oh, I only went and did it, didn't I? I got so carried away, I didn't put the bloody bridge back up again. Oh, God. Well, I'm just lucky this isn't a speed run. It's okay, Ada, you know, you wait at the top, I'll be right back. You don't have to follow me the whole way. PlayStation Guy, I couldn't possibly speculate. But, I suppose that's it. If you share certain things on social media platforms, I don't know, to be honest. As I said, you know, I mean, it's great you've got all that info. That is really, really interesting. It's cool to hear. So it'll be interesting to see how much of it's true and how much is, you know, rumours and hearsay and that. I've mentioned him earlier in the stream, but if you guys haven't yet, check out Rod. I'm going to say Rod Lima, Lima. He's on YouTube, and he's basically used the 3D models and environments from the Dark Side Chronicles on the Wii, ripped out the models and environments, and basically using the Unreal Engine, he has basically remade Resident Evil 2 single-handedly. Obviously, he doesn't own the assets and that, and as such, he hasn't released it. He's just said he's using it, you know, as an educational tool. But the fact that this guy has remade Resident Evil 2 on his own, it's quite incredible. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of them, but well, we'll wait and see how it all pans out. It's crazy, isn't it, to think that some speedrunners on the PC have already finished the game by now. Obviously, this is the GameCube version, and there's a lot of door cutscenes. My record, actually, for playing it on the DS, I played the Deadly Silence version on the DS, and for that you can skip all doors and all cutscenes. And my record on that, I believe, was 47 minutes. I haven't got a screenshot because I didn't have a camera phone back then, but 47 minutes was my record. So it's still off the world record. It's still nowhere near the world record, but I was quite proud of myself on that. Tad bit of backtracking. And then guys, we're almost at the factory, and that means we're almost at the lab. So, we're over halfway. Over halfway, and some of you are still watching. For my first stream, that makes me feel quite proud. That you guys are actually sticking around to share this experience. So thanks for that, that's really, really great to see. I'd really, really like to stream more of the Resi games. I'm also a big Metal Gear Solid fan, and a big Tomb Raider fan as well. So, if you guys think I should share those, do some streaming, that would be fantastic. Of course, September is the 20th anniversary of Metal Gear Solid as well. So I will definitely, undoubtedly be streaming Metal Gear Solid in September. In the flashback where we see what happened to Birkin and the Umbrella SWAT team, there was no water in that corridor, so obviously that water's come in recently. I don't know, maybe there's a leak or something. What was that? Something tells me Birkin, because he shows up later, so I think that's probably the best guess. If you kill the crocodile, you make it go away legitimately without using the gas canister, there's ammo over here. That's what this camera angle's all about. Obviously I use the shortcut and use the gas canister, so there's no ammo. Ada, get out of the way. Thank you. Right, let's head to the factory, but first we have a nice little Terminator 2 reference. You probably remember the elevator in Terminator 2, with the T-1000 on the roof. It was something like this! I actually once used action replay codes in this game. And when Birkin's arm came through, it was a severed arm, and it literally just hit the floor. So you have this kind of severed arm just groping at the floor instead of hanging through the roof. It was very, very strange. I have no idea why the game did it that way. But some of the codes I used, I guess, messed something up along the way. That was a great thing about the PS1. I don't know if you guys remember the old Exploder cheat cartridges. Yeah, you could have everything. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan, but I wanted to play Final Fantasy VII to enjoy the story, so I set the codes to all, like, you know, limit break always on, max health, max MP and all that. And it completely backfired because I was playing as Ares, and her limit break was healing. So I couldn't attack the enemy, I could just heal myself, which was really, really shot myself in the foot. You can use the lighter on this flare gun here, however if you fumble around, you can actually find the weapon box key yourself, without ever having to use it. Again, another area that we get to, we won't be coming back here, so I don't really need to kill all the zombies. But, we'll get rid of the important ones. Nice try. If you're quick enough, you can get them to lunge at you. but they're so unpredictable. You know, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But of course, you do that and it's a one-hit kill. Easy. Let's head this way. There we go, and then quickly run past here. He lunges for me. Ada can zap and follow me as well. I'm not going to wait around. And I think I'll save it one more time just here, because I know otherwise I'll get cocky. I'll get cocky, and you know, Birkin will probably finish me off that way. So let's quickly dump in the items that we don't need. Grab the Magnum that we do need. Save it real quick. I will save in memory card slot 1. There we go. Of course, if you save under 3 times or less, you're on the course for an A rank. Now, did we put some Magnum rounds in here? I really hope we did. No, okay, in that case I'll just grab this. And put that stuff there. Save a couple of bits for later. So let's grab these two. I suppose it's tempting to say you could finish the rest of the game with the Magnum. How much health have I got? 2, I'll be fine. I never upgraded the custom Magnum as well. I don't know about you guys. The custom Magnum, yeah, it's more powerful, but the recoil, after you pull the trigger, it could be like another 3 seconds until Leon's sort of recovered enough to be able to move. And in those 3 seconds, whoever you've been shooting at is no doubt about to grab you. So I always tend to leave the Magnum as it is. Slightly less powerful, but less recoil, so that's more important in my book. Alright, Magnum rounds in the toilet, because where else would you keep them? And grab the control room key. Those of you who played Resident Evil 0 may recognise this area, because Rebecca Chambers actually comes here, in that title. Takes the elevator down to the lab, meets Enrico, fights the prototype Tyrant. So it was pretty cool to see some of the Resident Evil 2 areas being reused for 0. But then again, you could say it's kind of cheap for them just to keep reusing the same areas. You know, it's far-fetched to assume that all the characters went to exactly the same places and got into exactly the same scrapes. How long do you reckon it'll take me to finish it, guys? Leave some answers in the comments if you think. Under 2.5 hours? I mean, bearing in mind I'm watching all the cutscenes. I reckon maybe another 20 minutes or so. Provided nothing goes wrong. Which it undoubtedly will. Oh, right in the back of the head.
Ada! Ada! Can you hear me? Come on, snap out of it!
Snap out of it? Yeah, she's been silly, right, Leon? I mean, what's that all about? So rather than lock the door to keep you in, it tells you not to come back in once you've gone out in an emergency. I mean, you know, decide for that how you will. I actually have a figurine of William Birkin in this form, and it's really detailed, really nice. Oh, slightly out of sync, aren't we, GameCube version? That sound played a bit too early. William Birkin's music, the second malformation of G, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant soundtrack. Jeez, not too effective. He's getting a bit close for comfort. Let's pick out the big guys. Oh, there we go. I see a bit of recoil. And he's showing no sign of weakening. Damn, this guy's tough. No wonder he comes back so many times. Damn it, I thought I could get away without getting hit. I guess not. This submachine gun is useless. Jeez. Damn, that guy took a beating. And I think people have beaten him just using the knife. That's pretty crazy. The knife with no damage as well. Not for me. I'm a big Resi fan, but I haven't got that much patience.
Don't die on me, Ada. Come on. Wake up. Come on.
Well, the good news is she's in like 3 more games, so yeah, she's alright. Some more chilling ambient soundtrack. Just feels deserted and eerie. That area outside the door, that was a nice area in the beta version. It remained pretty much unchanged until the final product.
Welcome back. Hey, take it easy. We're inside Umbrella's secret lab. I'll go find something to treat that wound, so just rest here in the meantime.
But I'll only slow you down with these injuries. Go. Save yourself.
I told you, it's my job to look after you.
But you'll be in danger if you stay with me. I know I've only known you for a short period of time, but I really enjoy being with you.
I
know I'm not capable of caring about anyone, but I don't want to lose you.
We're leaving this place together. Wait here for me. I'll be right back.
I don't want to lose you, Leon. I've only known you an hour. Yeah, Leon, she's up to something. She's very, very trusting considering how long you've known her. Right, let's stick that aside for the final battle. Magnum we don't need either. Let's whip out the shotgun. And what the hell, one more save can't hurt. I'm a careful player. In fact, when I played Metal Gear Solid, I remember Psycho Mantis calling me a very methodical man. So, yeah, I think you got me right there. PlayStation guy, Hideo Kojima created what at Capcom? He's got more people on Twitter than any normal human. That's the trouble with being famous, you know, you do get, you know, fans, but you also get negative people as well. So, I suppose, unless of course, you know, I mean, does Kojima even run his own Twitter? You know, maybe he hires someone to do it for him. This area is full of naked zombies if you come back later, so for decency's sake, I don't think I will. Sorry, PlayStation guy, because I mentioned Metal Gear Solid, I completely misread that as Hideo Kojima, so very sorry. Yes, you're right. He also did a tweet recently saying he went out for a drink with the director of the new remake, and said something along the lines of, "Do as you like, I trust you." Which, you know, was this new director even in the industry when Resi 2 came out? You know, you're kind of asking a lot of people who didn't grow up with the game to remake it. And I've always thought you need people who have the nostalgia and the passion for it in order to do it properly. I mean, that's just me. That's just what I'd say. You know, if I was going to remake the remake, I'd want to make sure that my whole team were fans of it, were familiar with it, knew exactly what it was all about. They didn't just say, "Oh, Call of Duty Zombies is really, really popular. Let's make sure Resi 2 has lots of multiplayer shooters." You know, I wouldn't want that to be the case. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I mean, my ideas for the remake and my prayers for the remake are that it is exactly like the remake of 1. You know, fixed camera angles, same characters, same story, but new areas, new features. Especially because the remake of Resi 1 was done so well, you know. They know that you're expecting the dogs to jump through, so they crack the window, but they don't jump through. And, you know, they know what you're expecting. They know what you think's going to happen. And that's why it's so brilliant, because then they keep teasing you, because they're in your head the whole time. And I really, really hope the Resi 2 remake does that, you know. It understands its fans, it knows who's playing it. I really think that's very important when it comes to creating good survival horror. That sound, that door, that electronic door opening has been used in 100 movies and TV shows. I still hear it today. But, as I say, it all just came from one big sound library. Although, again, at least the voice acting is vastly improved. I'm going to grab the flamethrower, just because I quite like it for the IVs. Remember, they're venomous plants, they're not poisonous. Now, if you stand just here... Oh, yeah, that actually might help if I go and drop the main fuse in. See, you can play it 20 years, and there are still things that you forget to do. I love the design of this lab as opposed to the one in the original game. The one in the original game felt like a small science lab, which was pretty cool. This one is vast, you know, you've got these huge towering main shafts, and you know, you see like on the detail on the walls, and you think, oh my god, you know, Umbrella's been hiding this under the city, under the citizens' feet the whole time. And if you're into that sort of the conspiracy theories, you know, it's kind of cool to imagine that, you know, the government is hiding stuff like this right under your feet. Hopefully not man-eating plants, of course. There you go, if you stand just there, they hit the wall each time. And they won't get you. Always a good thing. Right, just over the 2-hour mark and we're in the lab, so even though I'm sort of showing the secrets, I'm talking about this and that, we're still making pretty good time, which is good. I never bother with killing this Ivy. Although there's that very, very cool move that if you run behind them, they don't turn. They literally just flip over 180 degrees and then grab you. I always thought that was a really cool feature, because a bit like the way the zombies do the quick turn, the Ivies have their own way of spinning around to grab you. Because, of course, you know, this game was made in 1998. You know, quick turn wasn't in the Resi series until 1999, a year later, in Resi 3. God, I hate these clawed lickers. And that is why you got to keep an eye on your ammo. You do not want to be fumbling with shells. Again, I've seen people... Oh, crap. What did I just say about keeping an eye on ammo? I've seen some guy navigate this area just using the knife as well. He didn't even... Well, he used the licker's attributes to his advantage, you know. He didn't actually let them pounce on him because he moved when they weren't listening. We'll leave those herbs here because, you know, we may need them when we get back. I won't be covering every single room in this area because, of course, you can go to the giant moth room, register your fingerprint. It's not really essential. Yes, PlayStation Guy, those are all good. Absolutely, you know, and you need the game needs to give you a chance to feel scared, and I think modern horror doesn't do that. I really didn't think I'd enjoy Resident Evil 7, but I was actually really, really surprised. I genuinely thought it was a really, really great game, and I was quite happy with that because, you know, I thought I was first person, it's just going to be shoot, shoot, shoot. But no, I was quite impressed. That doesn't mean, of course, that I want Resident Evil 2 Remake to be first person. No, 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 no. I want it exactly like the remake of the original. Well, I've got it on PS4, so I'm playing the remaster of the remake of the original. So if they remaster it again for PS5, that's going to be a remaster of a remaster of a remake of an original game, which is just going to be stupid. Right. This area may look familiar to you guys because it is where these Umbrella operatives stormed William Birkin's lab when they shot him. And because there are so many shells to spare, let's take out William Birkin's colleagues in style. Sup? Hey, we're just passing through. Of course, you have to come here if you want to use the serum, get the serum for Sherry. Because in Claire Scenario 1, she gets impregnated. Quite a dark concept when you think about it, but then in Resi 2 you're okay. So we got the keycard and we are literally on the home straight now, guys. We have literally maybe 10 minutes to go. As I'm not going to go in the giant moth room because it's only to register a fingerprint for the second scenario. It's not essential. So what we're going to do is go back upstairs, get the MO disc, and then we are on the home straight. Ah, screw it, I'll do it on the way back. Again, the music, I mean, I know I've said it a lot in this run, but the music is just fantastic. The lab, it gives you that the sense of isolation and loneliness and foreboding that, you know, where is everybody? You know, what's happened here? And that is the last liquor of the entire game. It doesn't feel that long since we met the first one in the police station all that time ago. The lickers were a great enemy. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I love their agility. The hissing sound, you know. The fact they were so fast. I mean, you know, when you play the first Resi and you meet the zombies and you meet the hunters, and you meet the hunters and you just wish the zombies would just come back again because the hunters were so quick and strong, and the lickers obviously were replacements for the hunters in this game. But I thought they were brilliant, and I really do think they are an iconic part of the series. Nope. Good try. Here we go, back towards the cold storage. Right, we're about to tie up some loose ends of the stories, guys, so keep watching. Keep watching and see a great end to a great game. So I hope you've enjoyed the run so far, Celine. I've really, really enjoyed playing it. Magnum rounds, don't mind if I do. Because you only need one shot. That moment when you get really cocky. Because you realise how close you are to the end. See the recoil there? It takes Leon just a few seconds to recoil. PlayStation guy. Okay, good friends, horse, fire. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely rubbish with emojis. Dougie Latte, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment, you know, first person for the Resi 2 remake is just a speculation. You know, it's as I said, all we've heard is rumors. The fact that Capcom hasn't released anything, it's kind of worrying.
You murdered my husband. I know what you're looking for. You came for the G-Virus, didn't you? But you'll never take it from me. This is my husband's legacy. Now, where's that spy you were working with earlier? You know who I'm talking about.
What?
You really don't know anything, do you? You're so gullible. She's one of the operatives sent here by the agency. The only reason why she came here is to obtain the G-Virus.
That's a lie.
No, it's the truth. I discovered this when I did a background check on her. She specifically got close to John and became his girlfriend to get information about Umbrella.
That can't be. I know her. Ada wouldn't do something like that.
I've known her for an hour.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't really care. You're about to die anyway.
Oh, that was convenient. Anyone know what the rumbling is? Or maybe it's just speculation again. And there it is, the G-Virus.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Here we go, guys, on the home straight. Great to see some of you are still watching. I hope you've enjoyed the run. I've certainly enjoyed playing it. So you can play it a million times and I'll play it a million more. Quickly pop to the chest and grab some bits. PlayStation guy, next stream will be knife only RE2. That's a nice idea. I'm certainly nowhere near as good as some of the players on YouTube. Oh, look at that feature, that's brilliant. You blow him in half and his torso keeps crawling. That was a cool little feature that they actually added into the beta version. You can actually do that in the beta version. And of course it carried over into this version. I don't think I'd be very good at a knife only one. I don't think you guys would find it that entertaining, to be honest. What I would like to do is if people would want to watch, I'd be quite happy to do Claire Scenario B after this one. I think the B scenarios can contribute a hell of a lot to it. I think, the extra features, Mr. X and all that, and seeing how your first playthrough had such an effect on your second. I think I'd probably do that first of all, but if I get good enough one day, then yeah, what the hell, we'll do a knife only run. I did recently do the knife only trophy in the Resident Evil 2 remake, and the Tyrant was actually quite easy. I think the Tyrant was actually one of the easiest bosses. Oh, sorry, it's not Dougie. I think it's Dougal, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, why not? Give it a try. I've seen people fight Birkin with knife only, and I mean that was
Leon. I've been waiting for you, Leon.
What are you doing?
You know what this is about, so just hand over the G-Virus.
I don't believe this. Annette was right. About everything.
That's why I told you to leave without me, but you wouldn't listen. Now hand it over. Don't make me shoot you.
You can't do that. Ada! Ada! I've got you. Don't give up.
G-Virus. Leon. It's over. Just let me go.
Shut up. You're gonna make it.
It's too late, Leon. We both know it.
No! I promised you that we would escape. You just have to help me out here.
I really wanted to escape with you, Leon. Escape from everything. Goodbye.
I like how this was homaged in Resident Evil Degeneration, the film, at the end when Leon is hanging onto his partner exactly the same way as Ada. And you can see in his eyes he's already let one person go and he can't lose somebody else.
No.
I thought that was a nice bit of character development, bridging the games and the films.
So, this is what everyone's been dying for.
I don't really have any main streams, to be honest. This is actually the first game I've ever streamed online, so it's really a crash course to me. I mean, I'm playing a game that I love and I'm very passionate about, and I wanted to treat it like a, you know, informative, you know, show people the secrets and the Easter eggs they might not know about. If people like it, I mean, please let me know in the comments and I will happily stream more games, but I said this is a first for me, so you guys are like my test subjects. I always thought this ending was good. It's kind of an emotional ending for Leon and Ada, even though they didn't know each other that long. The fact that she threatened him to get the G-Virus, then you examine her gun and realise there are no rounds. She never meant to shoot Leon. She had no intention of ever shooting him. Is that because she ran out of ammo? Or because she genuinely couldn't bring herself to do it? I mean, it's anyone's guess, but I always like that as a little touch that they put that in. You want me to stream it regularly? PlayStation guy's been infected by the TCG. What's the TCG? That's a new one. Is that Umbrella's new product? Oh my god, that zombie took a beating. See if I can squeeze through without too much damage. Ah, he got me. The RE1, the RE6 and RE2 virus mixed together and injected into your blood. I like it. I have Resi in my blood as well. I imagine everybody watching the stream tonight has Resi in their blood. There's something about it, you know, just classic experience, you know, it's scary, it's tense, it's exciting, and I think modern games just with the same generic multiplayer shooting matches, they just haven't captured that ever since.
5 minutes until detonation.
I think the only horror game of like until they remastered the Resi remake, I think the only horror game in my book that came close to the brilliance of nope, that's right. I think the only I thought I forgot something for a second. I think the only game that came close in my eyes was Dead Space. I think Dead Space was the best un-Resi game that they made, you know, if you get my drift. Alright, William, let's do this. Dougal, I own every single Resi game ever released, except Gun Survivor 2 and Gaiden. I have every other Resi game ever. Come on, William, time's ticking away, let's do this. Let's dance, big boy. Yeah, it's called Gun Survivor 2 Code Veronica, and it's a spin-off basically, it's nothing special. Oh, you are kidding me! How did he die that quickly? Oh man. Fallen at the final hurdle. Hey, do you guys want to see me keep playing? Shall I try it again? Cool. Well, thanks for supporting me, guys, because, you know, sometimes when you fall at the last hurdle, you're literally like, right, stuff this, I'm not going to play this anymore, but, yeah. Thanks for the support, guys, and I will carry on playing because you're all still watching, so I've got no excuse to stop. Weensy Rants, thanks for joining us. So you're playing Resi 2 at the same time, I imagine. Are you playing as Leon? Are you doing Leon A and Claire B like I'm planning to, or are you doing it the other way around? We certainly do. We all have Resi in our blood. I was chatting to my friend the other day about it, and we were saying about that, you know, it's 20 years old. People are still playing it for fun. They're not playing it just to stream it or just to get views on a channel. People are still playing this game because it's so good. And how many modern games, like, you know, is Call of Duty 4 still going to be being played in 20 years' time because it's so good? You know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to skip that bit because we've already seen it. PlayStation guy, I know the feeling. I think we all have Resi in our blood. I don't know about you guys, but I think Resi 4, it was a good game, but I think that's where it started to go downhill. That's where it became less survival horror, more mindless action. You know, when you shoot a crow and it drops a hand grenade, if that's not the game holding your hand, I don't know what is, because that's just crazy. Weensy playing the remake, yeah, absolutely. Yep, same as me. I mean, I know Resi's kind of pseudo 3D, isn't it? It's 3D models, but it's pre-rendered backgrounds. But I was the same, you know, you come off the Mega Drive or something, and you saw these graphics, and suddenly it was just like, my god, there's a third dimension, you know, this is crazy. And I remember as a little kid playing it at my friend's house, and the fixed camera angles were great because it made it look like a movie. It felt like I was watching a horror movie. Yeah, people always say, oh, what's your favourite Resi? What's your favourite Resi? Resi 2. 1 was brilliant, 2 was incredible, 3 was good, 4 was fun, Code Veronica was brilliant, the remake was brilliant, and even 0 I thought was really good, though I mean 0 was hard. I don't know about you guys, 0 I always found really difficult. Oh, that was close. Thought we had a survivor. Yeah, Weensy, absolutely. I think Zero's very, very hard as well, partly because of all the character zapping. You know, again, it's a real lesson in strategy. You know, you really have to plan what you're doing and make sure you know where each character is. And of course, if they start radioing for help, you know it's because they've been attacked. It's, yeah. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit I needed a guide when I first played it. The co-op character zapping I thought was interesting. Geez, I will not learn from my mistakes, will I? It was interesting that Zero introduced the feature, the short-lived feature of dropping items wherever you wanted without having to find a chest. Obviously, you know, they experimented with it. Bori4LO? Is that, if I'm saying that right? Thanks, welcome to the stream, nice of you to join us. It's my first stream. Oh, that's interesting, PlayStation guys, so you preferred the item box. Yep, I think everybody played Code Veronica for the first time and had to restart the Tyrant on the plane. I certainly got there without enough ammo. I know you can beat him just using the catapult, but I mean it's so difficult to do. It is like crazy difficult. So yeah, I had to restart. And I had to scour the game for herbs, for sprays, for ammo. It was just too difficult. But again, you know, go 5 minutes, look on YouTube, and you'll see someone do Code Veronica using the knife. The guy I saw didn't get a very good grade because of all the first aid sprays he used, but again, those games they're not designed to be run with a knife, you know, they're not meant to flow like that. That's a good tip, always pass the bosses on their left. It's interesting you say that because obviously Capcom made Dino Crisis as well, and a lot of people have said that, like with the Velociraptors, if you run past them on the left, they have a kind of a left-handedness about them that means they won't snap at you, but if you run around the other side they will. With Birkin I tend to just run around while he jumps about, and again, because you're on a time limit I can't always wait for him to land, but back then when he got me then, he only hit me like twice. I've no idea how he got me so quick. You know, I literally was about to check my inventory. Yeah, Wincy, yeah, the remaster. It was good on the PS3, I really enjoyed it. I know that the PS4 now has a completely different trophy list, which a lot of people found a bit confusing. Apparently, in fact, some people have said, because of course the refresh rate's faster in American games as opposed to PAL games, people have said that because Code Veronica plays too slowly, you can't actually do the speedrun trophy. I don't know if anyone here has played Code Veronica on the PS4, but is that true? Yeah, I think it's a PS2 port, whereas the PS3 was actually a full remaster, like with new graphics and textures and that. So, it wasn't a remake, it was... That's right, yeah. I don't get why they didn't port the remaster from the PS3, I don't get why they went back to the PS2 to do it. Because the PS4 can play PS3 games and PS2 games. Just not if you already own them, which is a little bit, you know, a little bit naughty in my book, but... Well, you know. I suppose one day they'll be away, legitimately or not. Never fails, always run through that gap. Yeah, perhaps so, PlayStation guy. Maybe that's the case. I mean, I'm not a programmer myself, so I certainly couldn't speak for them. But You know, if you can stream, you know, the PS3 game to the PS4, the PS4 is obviously, you know, decoding it, reading it somehow, so I don't know if it would be impossible to do that. I will be skipping the cutscene with Annette and Leon in a second, just obviously because we've done that before. The light is already on. Doesn't give you the option to turn it off. That's interesting. Never noticed that before. 2 at once. Let's try it. Oh god. I'm getting Oh god, I'm getting embarrassed now, guys. I think That's a good question. Will it get a disc release or digital only? Well, again, I've heard speculation. Sorry, guys, I'm going to skip that one because I've already done it. I've heard speculation that the remake may be done episodically, and if that's the case, it'll be digital only, and then they'll probably release it all as one go on a disc. I've heard the Final Fantasy VII remake's going to be doing the same. I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se. I mean, like, say they released Leon A, and then Claire B, but I don't buy that. I don't buy them all separately. I literally wait for a finished game because, you know, I prefer a finished game. I mean, look at the way Hitman did it. They called it Hitman Season 1, the new one. I don't know if Hitman's getting a new release or a new season or something. True. I mean, I quite like my Metal Edition tins. You know, I like my sort of day one box sets. So I'm really hoping there'll be a Resi box set of some description. That would be great. But then again, okay, you know, in this day and age, I mean, a lot of computers haven't got optical media drives anymore. I mean, you know, are the days of PlayStation game discs numbered? You know, will it all be digital soon? Will shops like Game and CEX, you know, be out of business?
Leon.
Yeah, I'd be tempted for a day of release as well. Or sorry, yeah, buy it on release date. Maximusis, sorry if that's not pronounced properly. What do you mean? As in, will I be streaming Silent Hill? I could do, though I'm not very good at it. I've played them all and they're fantastic games, but I haven't played them as much as I've played Resident Evil. Alright, zombies, come on, I've had enough of this, let's do it. Oh, I hate when those naked bloody zombies get in the way. Alright, let's do this. In fact, let's skip it because we've already seen it, haven't we? I knew I saved the submachine gun for something. Now's a good time to check my health. Yes! Yes, I played it on PS1 too. That was the first time I played it. My friend had played the first one and he showed it to me. I just fell in love with the series straight away. I just thought this was so unique at the time. It was groundbreaking, it was exciting, it was scary, it was atmospheric. And it was, you know, it was thrilling. It was a proper adventure, and I hadn't really seen a game before that did that kind of thing. So you can see why Resident Evil 2 was so anticipated when it came out. I mean, I think at the time it was the best-selling PlayStation game ever. It outsold every single media product that year, except Titanic, I think is what they said. And there we go. Leon Scenario A is done. It's a good question, we can see, and I will answer it right after this cutscene, if you don't mind.
Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning. Goodbye, Ada.
Well, let's just say au revoir, because you'll be meeting again soon. Right, Wincy Grants. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I didn't think I'd like 7 because I didn't like the idea of making everything first person just to, you know, cash in on the VR craze at the moment. So what I saw of it, I felt like, oh, it's just Outlast, you know, this isn't Resi, this doesn't look like Resi, and you know. I played it, I was actually quite surprised. I like the idea that you still had to hunt for items. You know, you're in the main hall, which was reminiscent of the early games. And you have to find different pieces to open the door. But then, of course, I like the idea of the hiding element, you know, that you had to run from pursuers like Nemesis and that. So that was quite interesting. Then you had the big overblown monsters near the end, which was good. And people complained about the molded. They said, you know, oh, okay, there was just this one type of enemy. And you're like, yeah, but Resident Evil only really had hunters and zombies. I don't think the molded were a bad idea. Because it didn't detract too much from the game either. You know, you knew what to expect. You knew what was expected of you. But then the section with Lucas, with all the traps and that, again, that mixed it up a little bit. So I actually really enjoyed it, to answer your question. I did enjoy it, more than I thought I would. But that doesn't mean that I want Resi to continue down the first-person route. I don't think that's where it should go. I think there should be a choice. You know, I understand that the game obviously has to, in first-person games, it has to render things off-screen to surprise you. That wouldn't work with fixed camera angles. But I think it's really important that, continuing on, we give players the choice. Because a lot of people like me, have played these games with fixed camera angles, with the classic tension and suspense, and they enjoy them. But then some people just like Resident Evil 4, where they could just mow stuff down the whole game. So I think it's important that they keep a balance for everybody. And that's why the Resident Evil 2 remake, I'd welcome an option of camera angles, rather than just have one. I wouldn't mind DLC. I mean, obviously, unlocking Hunk and Tofu was always quite fun. But if they're paid for DLC in the new one, I don't agree with that. Remember, Resident Evil 2 Remake is being made for the fans. It's not meant to be a new entry in the series. It's meant to be an entry that complements everything that came before it. And compliments the fans like me, you know, who've been playing it for 20 years and will continue to play it for 20 more years after this. Well, there we go. I think I was 7 minutes over the 2.5 hour target. Not that I was aiming for a target. Oh, okay. I'm not sure how that worked. I guess it didn't count the cutscenes. Well, there we go. A grade. Remember, there is no S grade in the PAL versions. I believe the only version you can get an S rank in is the Japanese version. This is also the first Resi game that actually graded you. The first one didn't grade you. You know, you either finished it or you didn't. You could get an award for doing it in under 3 hours. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm glad I got an A run, given my little hiccup with Birkin at the end. And there we go, Infinite Rocket Launcher. Maximiusis, I think that is. Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it. I really enjoyed playing it. As I said, this was my first stream. I just wanted to share the love of Resi and the fact I wanted to share the anniversary with other people. Considering there was no YouTube and only a very young internet when this game came out, I think it's brilliant that in this day and age, people all over the world can join together and share in celebrating this brilliant game. That's it. That's it for my first stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to message me or comment tips or suggestions for my next stream, or things I can do differently, things you liked, things you didn't, I'd love to hear them because I'm always up for learning. But thanks very much. Thank you for joining me, and I'll certainly be sure to stream again soon. Take care, guys, and keep playing Resi.